If I have a website and I have to interact with it, I will be requiring the locators to interact with that particular website. Let me be more specific on that part. Let me open one particular website, that is Facebook. So first I need to log out myself from here. Or let me open some another website, and it should be www.icicibank.com. So if I need to interact with this particular website, these are different elements which I need to find out. For example, this particular text box is there, or this particular link is there, or any other element is there. So these all the things are get interacted by the individual with the help of the locators. So we need to find out what exactly the locators are to get interacted with that particular element. So the basic requirement for finding the locator is one of the element, one of the Firefox add-on that is known as Firebug. Also, to interact with that, I need Mozilla Firefox. So when you have these two things, that is Mozilla Firefox and you have Firebug, you can definitely get interacted with any of the elements on that particular web page. So let me tell you how the Firebug looks like. So this is the Firebug add-on. Is everyone able to see this? If anyone is not able to see this, can you please tell me? I hope that everyone is able to see this particular add-on. So this particular bug is known as Firebug, and we also need to install Selenium IDE on our Firefox. So you get how can you install this is you can directly go to Google and you can write Mozilla Firefox add-ons. There you can get all the Firefox add-ons whichever you want to install on your Mozilla Firefox. So if I write Firebug here, Fire, so this is the Firebug add-on. You simply have to click add to Firefox and this will come into your Firefox window. If you are making a fresh setup, you have to follow these steps and this particular bug will come in your Firefox window. I have it installed already, so I am able to see it. Now, let me open this particular website. So with the help of some example, I will tell you how to interact with these elements. Now this is quite clear that if I have to write a script and I have to make my script interact with this particular element or this password element or this first name, surname, email or mobile number, I need one particular locator so that my script can identify which particular element am I talking about. Else, how will a script know that for which element I need to make a designated operation? Okay. Now How to go ahead with this? It's like, let me tell you first of all the definition of locators. Locators can be termed as an address that identifies a web element uniquely within the web page. And locators are basically the HTML properties of an element which tells the Selenium about the web element it need to perform action on. So it is quite clear, which I have told you, that if I have to interact with this particular text box, I need to identify what its locator is, or else I won't be go ahead. I won't be able to go ahead. So first and foremost, the point is I need to get the locator of this particular text box. So there are n number of ways of finding the locators. Whichever suits best to us, we go ahead with that. But the most important point is it's one particular thing, and that is locators should be unique, else you will land into trouble. What trouble will you face? The trouble will be, if at all your locators are not unique. Let me give you an example. If the locator of email is X and same locator you have given for password, that is X, then your script will not be able to judge out as in which locator I am talking about. As in that case, it will go and write into email box and the same thing into email box again, which you have asked it to write for password, because this time you have not given the locator correctly. So you have to just ensure that you are writing the correct locators, and you have to be much more specific in it. Selenium is something, if you are having confidence in locator writing, you are mostly done with most of other challenges as well. Okay, so now not wasting much time, we should directly jump on to the locators. First of all, I'll start with locators by ID. So what are the locators by ID? Okay, as I have told you, that locators are something which are HTML elements given on a web page. Means we identify the locators with the help of the HTML elements which are on the web page. So I just go on this, make sure you are able to understand this particular operation. I'm clicking on this particular bug. As soon as I click on this particular bug, this small window opens on my screen. Now I will be clicking on this arrow and I will be going to the element for which I need to find the locator. So I am seeing this particular statement, or you can say this particular HTML element in my screen. Its input ID is equal to email, class is equal to input text, type is equal to email, tab index 1, value email something. So with the help of this particular thing only, I will be able to write the locator, and that will be a ID locator. So let me tell you how to write the ID locator. Simply when I am talking about ID, I have to write it as ID is equal to whatever is shown on the screen. So now I will be fetching it like this. I will write ID is equal to this particular email, right? So I will copy it and just paste it beside the locator, the ID. Now I will copy this, and just for the sake of cross checking, I will open the Selenium ID and cross check it whether the locator which I have written is correct or not. I will put it in target and click on find. And if it is highlighted with the yellow thing and the green boundary, I will be sure that whatever locator I have found it out is a correct one. So this is one way of finding the locators. Now let me find the same ID locator for some other element. The same thing I do. I have clicked on this particular element, then I go to the element for which I need to find out the locator. Again, this is one particular thing. And one more thing, you have to make sure whatever object you get on the screen, it is showing it as one matching node, so that you can be a bit more confirmed that you are not able to face the locator ambiguity as in two locators, one particular locator for two different elements. So the Selenium will not be able to find the ambiguity in finding the locators, and your script will not get failed. So again, I will be copying this particular thing. Now I'll write one separate locator, that is id is equal to control V, and here I am with my first name locator. So I, finding elements by locator is one of the way with the help of which we can find the locators uniquely. This is the most common way of locating elements, since IDs are supposed to be unique for each element. Okay. Now let's go ahead with another approach, that is locating by name. As we have locators by ID, same way one more method is there, that is locating an element by name. It depends on us which method which we are going through to find which we are taking it to find the elements, but then we have to make sure that the element should be unique. The locator should be unique. Okay. Now let me find it with the help of name. See, here it is like if you see the UI here, you can see the name is equal to last name. This here in name is equal to last name. Okay. So when I say this, that the name is equal to last name, what you can do is you can again go to the Selenium and you have to simply write name is equal to, and you have to simply copy this particular thing, paste it, and here you have find out the locator with the help of name. I am hoping that everyone is clear about this particular concept. If any issue is there, you can raise an alarm so that I can explain you again. I am seeing everyone. Saurabh Joshi, do you have any questions? You can type it in the chat window. Saurabh Joshi, you there? Fine. Let me go ahead now. I'll tell you one more thing, that the first name locator that we have written with the help of ID, we can also write the same locator with the help of name. That is, if you can see here, its name is equal to first name. Okay. So there are different ways of writing the locators, but we have to just make sure that we have to write the unique locators out of everything. Yes, any questions? Hello, any questions? I have unmuted all of you.
No, no, we understand it.
Okay, so I can go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see Saurabh Joshi's hands up. That's why I thought to ask him if any question is there. Fine. Now we will go ahead with one another means of writing the locator, that is locating by link text. Okay, now let me tell you what is link text. See, if this is the UI, you will find certain elements that are in the form of links. Now the point comes, they are not text box, they are not drop downs. How will you be able to find out the locator for them? So for them also, the Selenium has one way that is known as locating by link text. Link text says when you will find when you will be able to click on this particular link with the help of a Firebug, something in background you will be able to find in a tag. That is, whatever comes in a tag, you have to write it in Selenium ID, and with the help of that, you'll be able to find out the exact locator for that. Let's take it practically. I have clicked on this. Now I'm clicking on keep me logged in. So here I am able to find out that in this particular, okay, here there is no tag, a tag defined. Anyway, they have just defined it in label class only. So no issues. We will write it with the help of that only. So to write it with the help of link text, what we need to do is whatever is displayed on the link, we need to copy. Am I audible to everyone else? Hello? Am I audible to everyone else now?
Yeah, yeah.
So Abhishek, you can hear me? Abhishek, can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. So I'm fine. So here it is the text that is keep me logged in. I have copied it and I have opened Selenium IDE now. and there I will write it like this. That is link is equal to control V, whatever I have copied. You have to just make sure that you need not write it by yourself in writing, because there is a chances that space and all comes into consideration and you may end up writing a wrong locator. So you have to make sure that you copy it very much correctly. And now when you click on find, it's not clicking on keep me logged in. Let me try it once again. Is equal to, probably let me try this for forgotten your password. Yes, see, as I have told you, link is equal to thing works only for whatever has been written in ahref tag. Okay, so when I have got this, I'll be copying this particular thing, forgotten your password, and I'll be going to Selenium IDE. I'll be clicking on link is equal to control V, forgotten your password, and here it is. It's getting clicked, right? So link thing works only when you have the elements decided in your A tag only. Means it has to be in your A tags only. See, these are some things which we cannot decide. This is something which has been decided by your developers. They have or UI developers who have created the template for you, or you have created a user interface for you. So you have to go ahead with those steps only. Means as they are defined, you are bound to go ahead with those steps. So this is the third way. Now I'll be telling you as well the locating by CSS selector. Okay. Now let me tell you one strong thing. As we have gone through these stuffs, ID is one of the best way to locate any of the locator. Why? The reason is IDs are basically found to be unique. As you all know, in your companies, employee IDs are unique. So while deciding the template of this page, users, developers as well keep the ID as unique. And as you might be aware that classes and names can can be repeated as well. For example, there can be 6 people named as Ashish in your office, but there can be least probability or there can be negligible probability that an employee ID of the person is repeated. Okay, so ID is the best way to locate any element, and a name and all these things can be repeated as well. So it's advisable not to go ahead with those things until and unless you are bound to use them. Let me tell you one practical example. If I open this, let's have a gaze at this particular thing. See, here class is input text. Let me copy this whole thing. Control C. Here class is input text. Again, if I talk about this particular locator, here also every other thing is unique, but again class is input text. So when you are finding it with the help of class, you might end up with the wrong locator because two classes are same. Classes are same for two different elements. So there is also one way with the help of class also we can identify it. Let me tell you here. I have not mentioned it in slide, but there is one way of identifying with the help of class. Let's take up that as well. Okay. So class is equal to input text. It's finding. If I make it to something else, it will not find. But your question should be why it's not able to find it for why it's able to find it for email only and not the password. Why it's not going to password. The concept of document object models, the concept of document object model, that is DOM, says that it will always find out the very first element in DOM. That is, it has searched and it has found that class is equal to input text is for email as well as password, but it will just point out to email only and it will not go to password. So this is one particular concept. But here is what you can see the ambiguity. And you should not go ahead with class is equal to input text class sort of locator, because if you are using class is equal to input text and you need to find out the locator and you need to write something in password box, it will fail for you, or in other words it will write the thing in email box for you. So that this is one particular issue. Hence you should try to find out the unique locators, and id is one of the best possible way for that. Okay. If you have any questions, you can type in the chat window, or you can ask me to unmute. Okay, one more thing we will take it up. It is locating by CSS selector. What is CSS selector? CSS selectors are string patterns used to identify an element based on a combination of HTML tag, ID, class, and attributes. Locating by CSS selector is a bit more complicated than the previous methods, but is the most common locating strategy of advanced Selenium users because it can access even those elements that have no ID or name. Now comes the one of the catch in Selenium things. It's like if you are able to find out by ID, well and good. If you are able to find out by name, well and good. There is one more thing, that is finding it out by CSS. CSS says if you are not finding any way, come over to me. I will help you finding it out. The best part of CSS is that it is faster. It is a bit faster than, means not faster than IDE, but faster than others. That is finding by XPath or finding by class or finding by name, because name can be duplicate as well. So those things are there. Those things get considered. Hence, locating by CSS is one of the fine ways, and but there are some of the naming conventions and all that needs to be followed. The most important naming convention is, let me tell you, its hash is considered as ID and dot is considered as class. Okay, so now let me help you writing it for any of the locators. Let's take this time and email or mobile number. Okay, let's go to this. Input ID is equal to u underscore 0 underscore 5. Okay, I will be considering input ID is equal to u underscore 0 underscore 5. Now concentrate on this. It's like if I have to write the CSS locator, I will write CSS is equal to, then input, that is the tag name I will put. Then I have told you that hash is for ID. So ID is like hash, and then I will write whatever is the ID, that is u underscore 0 underscore 5. Okay. Now I will put it in the box and let me check whether whatever I have written is correct or not. Okay, here Selenium ID is just for cross checking. We no longer use Selenium ID for record and playback because we are currently using Selenium WebDriver version. Hence, this is just to cross check so that whatever locators we have find out with the help of Firebugs, are we correct or we are having some issues. So see, correctly we have find out. Okay, so this is a convention, that is input tag name, then hash. Why? Because we have considered an ID locator. So we are taking an ID, right? So hash is for ID and then the ID, whatever description is there. Let me write the same locator with the help of class. Okay, so here it is. This is the class. So CSS is equal to tag name is input, class is, as I have told you, dot, control C. I think it will fail. And hyphen. Let's cross check now. Input dot in. Someone is saying something. Okay, no problem. See. Fine. Look, some problem with that particular locator while I'm writing for email or mobile number, it's not taking. But then the same thing I have written it for in for this email box, and that it is input text. As I've told you that the string here is the class name is input text, and we can use it with the help of dot. So the same thing I have done here, and input is the tag name, then dot is for class name, and then class name is input text. So here it's able to find. So you can see that there are n number of methods to find out the locators, but it all depends on you whom with what approach you go. But then vision should be one, that you should be able to write the correct and unique locators, and so that your Selenium scripts should be able to find out the correct element in your UI correctly and precisely, and so that it should run it smoothly and it should not fail the scripts. So this is how we go with the locators. There are different types of locators as well, that is XPath and all, that we won't be discussing as a part of the demo, and we will be discussing in detail once the class is started. So fine, I'm closing my presentation now. Hope this was fruitful for you and you have got some knowledge on locators, Selenium locators. If any questions you have, you can shoot out to me directly either in the chat window, or I'm unmuting you all so we can have a discussion on the same. Okay. And rest, Palash will take over. Thank you. Thanks for interacting with one and all of you.